My mother fought with her parents, that is, my grandparents. This resulted in her moving out to live far away from them and never see them again. I was born after that fight, so I hadn't met my grandparents yet. However, when I turned 12 years old, I asked my mother to take me to meet them as my birthday gift. She refused at first. They had not been talking for many years, and it was hard for her to push aside her pride. Fortunately, I insisted enough for her to give them a call. She told them that I would go visit them by train to spend a few days with them. That was the first time I was traveling by train, so it was a big adventure to me. We agreed that they would be waiting for me at the station. I remember being nervous during the entire trip and being suspicious of anyone who walked near me. I arrived at the station and they were there. I could recognize them because they were carrying a huge poster with my name. My mom had no photos of my grandparents, so I had no way to recognize their faces. I had a strange sensation when I saw them, although I was way too excited to even think about it. I ran towards them and they gave me a very warm hug. I was finally meeting my grandparents. I was in tears of happiness. Every time we had to do homework about our families, I would have a very bad time hearing the many different family experiences of my classmates. They called a taxi and took me to their house. It was huge, just like my mom had described it. It had 2 floors and a basement, which is where my mom used to play when she was little. My grandparents told me that I would be sleeping in my mom's former bedroom, and I couldn't stop thinking about how I hoped she had come with me. The first night wasn't very good because I kept hearing noises coming from downstairs. Something like noises of furniture being pushed from one side to the other. However, I was so tired by the trip that I soon managed to fall asleep despite the noise. The next day, I asked my grandparents to show me the basement since I wanted to see my mom's old toys. But they told me it was impossible. Their excuse was that there was a plague of rats down there and the exterminators wouldn't be coming until the next weekend. I called my mom since I was missing her. I told her that my grandparents were thinking about taking me to the zoo. It seemed as if she was no longer mad at them, and that made me happy. However, when I told her that I wished we had the beautiful blue eyes of my grandpa, everything changed. What do you mean, blue eyes? Your grandpa has brown eyes, just like us, my mom told me. But I was completely sure he had blue eyes. Mom got so nervous that she got in her car and went looking for me, embarking in a 10-hour trip. She also told me to hide and keep calm, but I couldn't avoid getting worried. If that wasn't my grandfather, who was him? And where was the real one? I thought it could have been a mistake by my mom, so I tried to verify myself. I went to the living room and checked the photos there, and she was right. The couple who picked me up looked nothing like the couple in the photos. So I told them I wanted to go walk around the neighborhood and would be back soon. I managed to grab my belongings and take them with me without them noticing. I ran as far as I could until I felt safe, and then I called the police. It seems those two were actually a couple that escaped from a mental asylum 3 years before. That's when they murdered my real grandparents and hid their bodies in order to steal not only their belongings but also their identities. The police found the bodies of my real grandparents in the basement, locked in the same chest where my mom used to store all of her toys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life horror videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode.